Welcome back. Hey, I went golfing this morning. Got up at 6 o'clock, drove into Nashville, and golfed until about 1 o'clock, 1:30, and got back home. And I got a little bit of time between going out to dinner with my family. So I wanted to read to y'all. So thank you for the beautiful birthday wishes. Y'all are amazing. There were so many birthday wishes yesterday and today. And I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you. And yeah, we're still reading these stories. So let's get started with the Elvis and June book, okay? And hopefully the flies will leave us alone. I got rid of some early this morning, and I'm not hearing them, so we'll find out. Maybe they've disappeared. Chapter 16 is called Temptation. While Mama was getting ready for work, I was following her from room to room, telling her bits and pieces of my night. Sounds like things are pretty serious between the two of you. They are, Mama. Elvis asked me to marry him last night. He did? Anytime soon? Well, in about 3 years. Good. That will give you enough time to get to know each other better. Now, I never did understand why she showed so little enthusiasm. Maybe she too had her doubts. She gave me a big hug and left for work. I then called Pat to tell her the news. She wasn't the least bit surprised. He's crazy about you, June. Everybody can see that. When's the big day? Well, not for at least 3 years. Good. That will give you enough time to know if that's what you really want. I feel like I'm talking to my mother, Pat. She said the same thing. Damn. Am I the only one that's excited or what? No, June, I'm happy for you. It's just that you're all caught up in this love thing and you've only known Elvis for a short time. Well, that's true. Well, anyway, he's coming back to pick me up in a few minutes. We don't have any plans. I guess we'll just hang around the hack house. Come on over after a while. And Pat, don't mention this to another person, okay? My lips are sealed, June. And about the engagement, congrats. I knew you'd be the one. Well, as soon as I hung up the phone, Miss Manuel called. Her little girl kept telling her that Elvis came to see her last night. June, that's all she's been talking about. I thought she'd been dreaming for sure. I was only out of the room long enough to go to the nurse's station and get a cup of coffee. I was just humoring her until I opened the drawer in the nightstand and saw the record. Carol wasn't dreaming, Miss Manuel. We did go see her last night. She talked to Elvis for a moment, then fell asleep. There was a period of silence, and then I heard her whimpering. Hug him for me, June. Tell him I think he's a great person. And Carol and I both love him, too. I think he's great, too, Miss Manuel, said June. I'll tell him that you called, and kiss Carol for us. When I got in the car, I kissed Elvis on both cheeks. One's from Mrs. Manuel, and the other's from Carol. And this one is from me, I said, kissing him softly on the lips, because I love you. I love you too, June, said Elvis. Carol Manuel died on January 10th, 1957, 6 months after Elvis's visit. I'm on page 134, by the way, for those of you that might have the book reading along. It's kind of hard to get, and this is a really nice copy. Maybe that's why I paid, I think it's $90, $85, $90. That's just the memory of what I paid for it. When we arrived at the hack house, the boys were all out front, loading the BB guns and getting ready to shoot the leftover records. We left the gang throwing darts in the living room and went upstairs for what he called quiet time. You see, it was early afternoon when we stretched out across the bed. Neither of us had much sleep the night before, and we were both exhausted. We fell asleep and didn't wake up until well after dark. While we were sleeping, Buddy had picked up a portable barbecue grill and was making all of us hot dogs. We didn't have any pots, so Buddy had opened the can of chili on the grill along with the foot-long wieners. When we went down to join everyone, Elvis naturally picked the one that was charred the blackest. That's what I love. too. That's my favorite. In fact, when I make the hot dogs, I always char a bunch of them for me. Yeah, that's weird. That's so weird. It's always nice to have something in common, with somebody you admire or a friend or something, With mustard and chili running down our chins, we look like a pack of ravenous wolves. Buddy also picked up a giant-sized, ice-cold watermelon, which is my favorite as well. Good for Buddy. But we had no knife to cut it with, so he raised the big melon over his head and dropped it on the concrete driveway, making it burst into pieces. Could have just gotten a rock, Buddy. Big old rock, and popped it. All right. Elvis and I stayed in the background watching as everyone dug out the heart of the watermelon and had a food fight with the rest. When the watermelon fight was over, they peeled off their sticky shirts and ran to the hotel pool. Wide awake after a 5-hour nap and wanting to get away from the boys, Elvis ran in the house to get the car keys. Let's get the hell out of here, baby, before they get back. Well, I didn't pay much attention to where we were going until Elvis rounded the curve and pulled up to the second seawall. He turned off the engine and rolled the windows down. Now you can tell your friends you parked at the second seawall, he said, moving towards me from the driver's side. There wasn't much of a breeze, and it was getting hot in the car in more ways than one, so we decided to get out. When I opened the car door to get out, though, I almost stepped on a used condom. She said the used rubber. Yuck, let's get out of here, I said, pointing down at it. Elvis just laughed. He thought it was funny. He drove around for a while before stopping again. But by this time, the mosquitoes had found us. And they were about to eat us alive. Something tells me we're not going to park here after all, he said, swatting the mosquitoes and calling them buzzing little bastards. Even today, when I got a mosquito bite, and as unpleasant as it is, I laugh, remembering the night and the buzzing little, yeah. Elvis suggested we go back to the hotel and go for a swim, but I had a better idea. You want to go for a swim? I know the perfect place. We went to the west side of Biloxi, on the outskirts of town, to the Sun-Kissed Country Club. The pool behind the clubhouse wasn't fenced in, and a bunch of us used to sneak in all of the time. We stripped down to our underwear and quietly slipped into the cool water. The clubhouse had a few lights across the back, just enough for us to see each other. What happens if someone catches us? He whispered nervously. Nothing. They'll just make us leave, that's all. The night watchman must be hard of hearing. He's never caught us yet, and we always made noise. Relax. There's nothing to worry about, I whispered, giving him a long, passionate kiss. I need you desperately, June. Do you want to make love in the water? He whispered between kisses. Only if you do. I left the decision up to him. June says, I was so aroused I couldn't have said no if I tried. You're no help at all, June. We can't both lose control. One of us has to know when to stop, he said, putting both hands on top of my head and dunking me in the water. Well, that stopped it right there. When the dunking was over, I couldn't resist getting revenge, so I grabbed the back of his underwear and with an upward yank, I gave him a wedgie. Or what we girls call a PIC. Poor June. She put some stuff I don't know whether I can say in this book. She wrote this in 1997, I think. She got quite a vocabulary on her, that June. Panties in CRACK is what she said. PIC. I swam like crazy to the deep end, treading water until he promised he wouldn't drown me if I came back. Hoping he would keep his promise, I swam back to his arms. We played in the water until our fingers were all shriveled, keeping a sensible distance between our almost nude bodies, stealing a kiss every now and then. He took me home, and we sat in the car, talking for a long time. He didn't tell me that he was leaving the next morning until we were on the porch kissing goodnight. "Why didn't you tell me you were leaving?" said June. It's bad enough me knowing. I don't want to spoil your night, too. I won't be long gone, baby. I promise." He gave me a quick kiss and left me standing there on the porch. I went straight to the bathroom, washed the chlorine from my hair, and started putting in the pin curls. Realizing I had no reason to look good, I quickly took the bobby pins out. I hadn't had a haircut in over a year. I was either wearing a ponytail or sleeping every night in pin curls, and it was getting to be a real pain. The sun and chlorine had damaged the ends of my hair, so I decided to surprise Elvis with a new hairdo. This was no big deal for me. I was one for changing my hairstyle as often as I changed my mind, so I went to bed, planning to make an appointment the next day. In the morning, I had to explain to my mother while my undies and my bra were hanging in the bathroom. When I told her about sneaking in the pool, she just laughed. She was probably relieved to know that I'd kept them on. With my new haircut closely resembling that of actress Gina Lollobrigida, I left the beauty salon smiling, sure that Elvis was going to approve of the new me. I don't know. There's one little fly. Hopefully it's not buzzing. I don't know if Elvis is going to like it or not, based upon what I've heard about some of the other stuff, like when Lucy the Barbin got her hair cut, which once again, Lucy wrote this book 10 years before June, okay? 10 years before. So, it's not Lucy copying, and I know June ain't making it up. So if there's two different stories about that, about the hair getting cut. I think Priscilla had one too, that she wrote in 1985, I guess, about her cutting her hair, and Elvis not liking it shorter. I don't know, but you know what? Anita Wood, well, not Anita Wood, Natalie Wood had shorter hair, and Elvis dated her and seemed to kind of like her enough, I guess. I don't know. Well, happy birthday to me. Don't have to say happy birthday again unless you didn't do it before, and you don't even have to do it, but I wanted to spend part of my birthday with y'all, not just re-editing the video from yesterday. I know not everybody can watch a whole hour of a video. That's a long time, a whole lot of reading, so I edited. The video that's on the channel earlier this morning is really from about 25 minutes where the fly buzzing started. I got rid of that on. So those that watched the first 25 minutes yesterday would be able to kind of read more, right? But I wanted to read some of this Elvis in June because I didn't want to skip a day. We still got to read Anita Wood. And there's a lot of books we got to read. Maybe I'll be able to have some more free time this week and get to reading some more Good Rock tonight, some more of the Faith of Elvis from Billy Stanley. But we're getting closer to finishing Child Bride, so once that's finished up, then we'll have other books to read. And we're going to read the Joyce Bova book, too. Lots of books we're going to read, okay? TCB TLC, till next time. Y'all make my birthday wonderful, and my family's made it wonderful, my friends on Facebook, and friends and family that have texted me as well. So, feels good being 28 again. I've been 28 for a couple decades. I try not to celebrate anything over 28. I think most of y'all know how old I am, but as long as I believe I'm 28, maybe I'll stay feeling like that. All right, TCB TLC. This is Joe Sins, Rare Elvis Photos.